No lies in the lounge, man. But, yo, congratulations to both of y'all. I'm amongst greatness. You know what I'm saying?
That
so,
you are.
Yeah.
That you are, Tutan. Thank you for recognizing that.
There you go. There you go. There you go, man.
Behind the mask.
What up, my dude?
What's good, family? Another day in paradise. You know what it is.
Hey, man, it's always good when we have company inside of the lounge.
Most def. Family inside the lounge.
Absolutely, man. So without further ado, this next guest finished as the second all-time leading rusher at the University of Georgia, Tutan. He was a first-round pick, number 3 overall, to the Arizona Cardinals. NFL Comeback Player of the Year, 2-time Pro Bowler, and also All-Pro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BTM Lounge. My fellow DSGB, down South Georgia boy, Garrison Hearst.
In the building. What up, G?
Good, fellas.
What's happening, bro?
Good, I'm good.
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. Life is good right now. Kids happy, wife happy most of the time. I'm good.
Happy wife, happy life.
Most of the time, yes.
Finally got you in the lounge, man.
I
Been a
know it,
minute.
man. I'm tired of watching y'all. I've been watching y'all too long.
We've been beating on your door.
I know that.
And you've been kind of like, I get them later.
I'm like, it's more like, let them get the big guys first. I'm gonna come in on that lower end, man. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, you know you the truth, bro.
No, man, I'm old school, but I
respect.
appreciate the love. Y'all know that. Plus, y'all family, man. I've been knowing y'all cats so long.
Yeah.
You raised us,
That's a
in
fact.
particular
Man,
me,
so a little bit, just
a little bit.
Right. Kids done worked out together and everything,
Oh,
man.
my goodness. Get them girls together. We had to sit back and just listen to them talk.
Facts.
But we happy to have you inside of the lounge today because typically you don't be going around here talking to a lot of people. And we appreciate that because we get a chance to go behind your mask today, right. Mr. Hearst.
You're right. I don't do a lot of podcasts, man. I don't do a lot of interviews. Why? I don't know. But there was no way I was saying no to you guys. I mean, like walking. Let's do it.
All right, then let's do it then, bro. Let's do it. Well, our history goes back. He's from Lincoln County, and I'm from Washington County, Waco. And like, bro, like few years ahead of me, but I remember growing up and just hearing, we both didn't grow up too far from Athens. And so it was like Garrison Hearst, Lincoln County. Bro, and I'm like, who is this guy? Yeah. Like larger than life though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because the history of, playing at UGA, some of the greatest running backs that ever came through there. And I'm like, man, this dude here is fire. So we go up there. I remember as a youngster, dog, I didn't even tell you this story. We go to Georgia. Our high school coach takes us up. And so, man, I remember seeing like, man, it was I was in like maybe the 10th grade, 9th grade or 10th grade or something like that. But I remember just watching, bro, and it was like, wow, this is Garrison Hearst, who everybody was talking about. Yeah. Had the big ass calf muscles, looked like
Popeye,
like Popeye calf muscles. Then the thing I remember most back then, you could wear your jersey, it was like short. You could hem it up short. Yeah. So he all aved out, six pack. So I'm thinking like, man, I gotta get my calf muscles like that. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get mine like that, bro. But like, bro, did it ever occur to you, you've accomplished a lot and we're gonna get into that later, but did it ever occur to you coming up through high school and taking that step on to UGA, like your potential?
Yes and no. Probably more no than yes. Again, you said Lincoln County. If you're from the CSRA, what we call it, we were known for football way before I ever got there, before I started playing. So it was always a thing in my hometown. You got to carry the torch as well. The next class, if you don't win the state championship, you didn't have a good year. That's how it was growing up in Lincoln. I didn't really know what recruiting was because I didn't come from a family that was college-based. My mom and dad didn't go to college. So when you start getting 9th and 10th grade, 8th, 9th, 10th grade, I was lucky enough to have a guy on my team by the name of Kurt Douglas. And he was an All-American linebacker. And that's the first time I saw a Georgia coach or any coach come to a practice in the 9th grade. I'm like, who are these guys? Well, they here to see Kurt. I said, for what? They want him to go to school. Really? So they come see you. That's how colleges recruit you. They come see you practice. I want them to come see me one day. I remember thinking that.
Yeah.
And then my high school coach was, not the head coach, but Howard Ellis was the D coordinator. And he said, you keep playing, they'll come see you too. You just got to do the right things. Go work out with Kurt when he gonna work out. Go work out with the bigger kids. I just took those advices and just ran with them.
And did your thing in high school. Historic career at UGA. And this is something that just came out that I want to mention to you real quick. Some notable names in the inaugural class of the Georgia High School Hall of Fame. Some greats: Champ Bailey, Mel Blount, Richard Dent, Calvin Johnson, Shannon Sharp, Fran Tarkenton, Hines Ward, Terrence Edward, Eric Berry, Pat Dye, Garrison Hearst, and Takeo Spikes. We are here in the BTM Lounge with two greats right now, man. How does that feel, bro?
Amazing. I think I said it when I first heard, like, man, Hall of Fame, why they wait so long to do this?
Facts.
But in my mind, there was no question. Once I heard about it, I didn't even think about it. All right, let me see what Spike said. All right, there it is.
You knew he was going to be on that
people
list?
you know were going to be in there.
Yeah.
Now, I'm quick to say thank you, but I'm also quick to say I don't know. I might be and I might not be. That's just me being me. But you looked at the list and like, yeah, I joke it better be there somewhere.
There's some greats, man.
Hey, bro, but I want to go deeper into this though, because you see some of the names that are on the list, and for me, I was surprised too to find out, like, man, we never had a high school Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
and to be elected or inducted into the inaugural class. Shout out to I.J. Rosenberg for leading the charge, the executive director, and they've done a fabulous job. So can't wait to get that coat, be able to put that coat on. But back to it though, bro. Like, think about some of the names, like, cause everybody can talk about, like, oh man, back in high school, we had plenty of people sit in that chair who even talk about what they did when they used to play. I think of Dream, the artist Dream. Dream was like, he used to play, and I'm like, all right. Does it count? He was like, it don't count if it's not on tape. But
Charles Barkley.
One
play.
It down.
We got to do that again?
You know it.
Right.
Oh. But like, think about it, bro. Mel Blount, Shannon Sharp, Fran Tarkenton, like some of the all-time greats, Pat Dye. Bruh, like, I got my thoughts on it, but I just want to get yours. Like, you amongst greatness in that company, because everybody can say, I was that guy in high school.
Right.
But everybody can't say this in the inaugural class.
You're right. I'm one of the guys in there. And again, I guess I need to get past not want to put my name and say, okay, I did this, I did that. The records don't lie.
Yeah.
So I'm in it. But it's surprising more than anything, I guess, that some of the names on there, I thought they would have been in something already, because I assumed there was already some things that I didn't know about for the state of Georgia that they show recognition to players. So it was surprising to see that, but an honor at the same time.
Y'all better than me, because I don't even think we got that in New York. Ain't no football like that in
Y'all
New
high
York.
school football in New York.
Nah, man, we few and far in between. We got basketball and baseball, though. You know what I mean?
Bro, what'd you say?
What?
They don't have it in New York?
They got like all state, but the difference is, all right, so the difference is in New York, all city was bigger because the city is so huge. You know what I'm saying? All state, we never played or never heard about the cats in New York State and Buffalo and Rochester.
So what would be
playing.
the best area for football in New York? Is there considered the best area?
It was like Staten Island was pretty good. Adewale Agungliye came from Staten Island. Then Long Island, Keith Bullock was in Long Island around the time that I was coming out. But typically, you go to the suburbs. That's where the better ball is played because they have more resources. You know what I'm saying? In the city, man, we I told Spice before, bro, we used to warm up for the games for Pop Warner, and we didn't have chalk on the field. So the parents would have to go get like flour, pancake mix, and like walk backwards, lining, no lies in the line, lining the sidelines. Yeah.
Man,
and you this film out there, you would see the sidelines go like this. So,
he was in. So, he was out.
Yeah. He looked like he was out. So let him keep going. Yeah, real spill.
Oh.
Real spill, man. No lies in the lines, man. But, yo, congratulations to both of y'all. I'm amongst greatness. You know what I'm saying?
That
so,
you are.
Yeah.
That you are, Tutan. Thank you for recognizing that.
There you go. There you go. There you go, man.
No, man, but you accomplished a lot, bro. And when you look at it, SEC Player of the Year, like that's huge. Like you was that dude in the SEC.
In SEC, that's
and that right there alone says a lot.
we all know about that SEC football.
Absolutely, we all know
It's
about
that
it.
fire.
Even though he is from New York City.
I mean, I came down, I played in the SEC, it worked out for me.
No
You
doubt.
know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, you
No
did.
doubt.
You gonna stop this shit right now? Cause we got G in
You
the
know, guy
line.
coming
You see
down
how
south.
All right, I got something for you. Wait, just you wait.
But you set a lot of records though, even at UGA, and I think what was it, all-time second.
Second when I left.
And so like now, you're now nominated to be in the College Football Hall of Fame. I think you're gonna get in this year.
I'm hoping you're right this time.
So
bro.
like, you know, what's the thought process? Like, I know you're forever humble, and I'm really here to push your buttons and
I
make
can
you
tell
speak
you.
about it
I
too.
can see.
So like, man, like it's okay to talk about yourself because you put in the work, bro.
Right, no doubt. Hey, listen, I want to be in for sure. I'm honored to be in. Do I look at some of the names and wonder, how they get in before me?
Just being
Can't
honest.
say I can't do that. I've done it a few times, but
Yeah, you human.
I understand there's a system behind it, and I just kind of try to roll with the system best I can. In front of you guys, I can tell you, I can be a little pissed about some of the stuff I see on there, but I roll with it and try to keep going because they can't take it back. I did what I did.
Fact.
Can't beat the numbers.
Can't argue about that, huh?
Yeah, and they made now you can use your bowl yards to help pad your stats even more. I didn't get all that.
Oh, so back then you
Back
couldn't
then,
even add your
no.
bowl yardage up.
I know.
Hell, they didn't even have all of the bowls back
Right.
then either.
Playoff yards, all that go for your total now.
Damn.
And your best year at Georgia was over 1,500 yards,
Mm-hmm.
Junior.
19 touchdowns.
21. Come on now. Come on now.
Oh, how you go short him,
Come on
man?
now. I heard them playing now.
How you go
I
short
thought
him?
the other two came at bowl season.
No, they don't count.
Yeah, bro.
You left them 3 off against Auburn. That's what you were trying to leave off.
Speaking of that, your dogs doing their thing just came off a national championship, and then last maybe a week or two ago just came off a whooping on somebody in the SEC.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Yeah, the War Tigers.
Yeah,
That's it, I
Auburn
think.
Tigers.
War Tigers. That's
He
it.
wearing similar colors right now.
Yeah. I'm going to do this right here.
Hey, man.
I'm just going to do this right
Now's
here.
your chance in the BTM lounge. Talk shit to this man because they could not get the W, and he was talking shit before the game.
You know what? I would talk a lot, but I'm gonna give him the credit of saying, I don't know yet, G, but you'll find out Saturday. That's the hardest thing he said to me. I knew what that meant.
Yeah.
He really wanted to ride with his boys.
Yeah.
But there was no way he was riding with boys. I mean,
So he didn't even take the bet?
Nobody betted me.
I didn't offer to make the bet. I didn't.
And that what made me mad. Really,
It didn't make sense to make
out
that
of
bet.
previous years, I can't stop them from calling my line, saying, Spikes, what's up? I ain't heard from you.
Right?
What's up on that 100? What's up on that 200?
Was it worth me calling that? I knew I was gonna win. He was gonna be giving me money.
Then they had the line. You know what the line was for the game? 28 points.
Did we make it?
Damn.
Did you make it? Shit, you went over. I was like, nah, I gotta talk to this man coming up in a few
bro.
weeks.
Hey, man, I love it. It's a wonderful thing. I mean, you know, some of my good boys played at Auburn, man. I got another cat I'm cool with that played at Auburn. So it's wonderful for me right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't get them to say very much about them dogs at all, other than, man, y'all all right. That's the hardest thing I get right now.
They just get mute.
We're here for support, right?
He still rock the colors. I give him that.
Putting it on his Twitter, WDE.
Oh, yeah, I love it. It's wonderful. Hey, man, keep the smile up, dog. Hey,
Oh,
This
man.
Thanksgiving,
We should have
y'all
played.
carving me up right now.
Homecoming is this week. It should have been last week.
Oh, man.
Damn, bro.
Oh yeah, it should have been last week.
You go
We
eat
down right now.
it? Okay.
You know, I can't believe y'all. Thought y'all had more class than what you had. Beating the team down when we already down.
It's
Losing to the transfer portal.
It's SEC, baby. That ain't the only reason. Come on now. It ain't just a transfer portal.
It's Kirby.
What
All
you
this
mean?
NIL going on. I'm about to pull
come
the
on now.
Jimbo and
Come on now.
I'm about to be Jimbo.
You can't even go there with us. We gonna keep this thing clean about Auburn now. Pat Dye Jr. my agent, so that means I know Pat Dye well.
Spike's mad everybody left Auburn and went to the transfer portal. That's what it is.
I know it. You know what I say about Auburn all the time? That is the hardest team I've ever played for 3 years in college. I tell the story all the time. It didn't matter if you knew anybody's name on that defense. All them dudes bring it.
Yeah.
They had a safety that might have been 140 pounds. He was 6'3", and I hated hitting him. Hated it. So I don't get it now when I see Auburn not playing well because they always been a team that you didn't want to play because they were always hard.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know them, but after the game, you're like, man, them jokers, that brings it.
What was your biggest rivalry that you really enjoyed going to play?
Georgia Tech, because it was in-state. Now,
And back then, Georgia
Tech,
Tech
yeah.
they had that fire.
in 1990, they beat us and won the national
National
championship.
championship, yeah.
Yep.
So they were that team for a minute. I would say Florida, but Florida kicked our butt those years, and to me, it wasn't the biggest rival because it was Florida. But Georgia Tech, I would see those cats. So you had to see them, and then you got your butt whooped by them. They walk around with a ring on. Oh, it was hell. But then them last 2 years, we put that thing on them.
Y'all had to put them
Oh
across
yeah,
your lap.
yeah. Let me let y'all see what this thing about. Yeah, gave it all to them.
No doubt, man. Then you went, man, third pick overall to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Did your thing in the league. But then you see a young pup from a nearby county that comes into the league. And I heard a little bit of story about what Takeo was working out his rookie year, and he had a party, you know what I'm saying, trying to get baptized into the league, man. Talk about that when this joker
this
came
joker
in,
right
man,
here,
when he
man.
first came in from
all-
Waco.
You know, it's 98. So I know of him for sure.
Yeah.
But him and his teammate were working out in the Bay Area pre-draft, so they got to know a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
But it's 1998. That Bay Area is me.
Yeah.
I mean, they should have called it the G area.
G area.
Right. So all the person I'm sharing it with at the time would work Jerry Rice, but that don't count. That don't count
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Anyway, I think it's actually summertime too, and it's Fred Beasley said, "Hey man, my boy having a party in Oakland," and I look at Fred like, "Who? You know, I ain't heard about this party. Who having this party?" Through my many sources that would have told me that, and he said, "Takeo Spikes gonna have the party." I said, "What's Spike having the party?" He said, "He wants you to come out." I said, "All right, I'm gonna come." In my mind, I'm like, how you gonna come in the Bay and not get my permission to have a party with all my folks?
He ain't checking in?
Right, he ain't checking in. This don't make sense. Okay, I'm gonna let him go with this. I go up there, me and Fred, we all good up there, and I'm thinking, I get out, first thing you gonna valet, cause back then, you know how we gonna pull up in the front.
Absolutely.
You get your car, you walk out, you get out with your chest out, and you're gonna see me blinging a little bit.
They had them hard bottoms on.
Yeah, you dressed up back then. You had to dress up back then. And we all get out, and I see him in a little entourage. I'm like, oh, okay, he got an entourage and everything out here. And folks I know. Folks I know. And Fred walk up there, hey, what's up, Spike? And the more I'm watching, I'm saying to myself, I don't think we'll play the back roll on this one. This joker got it made on this thing.
Hey, get a ticket.
Hey, I had to play the back row that night. I said, I'm gonna let Spike be Spike. No, yeah, I'm with him. Go on in first.
He had the entourage with him?
I stepped back that night and let him do what he do because he made the show look pretty good for everybody, man. So I stepped back. I didn't even ask for that card. Why you do this without getting in touch with me? Don't worry about it. Chalk that up.
He ain't had no work with him, though.
Plenty. Plenty. That's why I didn't mind stepping back. The residuals were falling.
Hey,
How your first year in the league off the rip? We wasn't even in the league yet.
I was
wasn't even
baffled.
in it.
I was baffled.
You know what? Put it this way. Let's just say I networked pretty well. And I felt right at home. So I felt right at home.
Man, I thought the Raiders drafted him.
That brought one of the best times of my life. The reason why I was out there was because I trained right before the draft. And shout out to Thomas Weatherspoon. But we had some good sessions, man. But I grew up. That was the first time me ever being in Cali. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, damn, man, I'm seeing palm trees. Man, it's February. And it ain't, the weather's like 65, 70. Yeah. So I'm like, man, I like this right here. But, bro,
oh man,
when I tell you that was one of the greatest times of my life, just due to the fact of
partaking in California with just so many, like, you know how it is when you grow up. Like, I grew up damn near around some white people too, but you know the majority are black. What you see the hoods that you come from, right? Man,
you go to Oakland, man, it's all black folk. So I'm like, man, I'm digging this right here. So I met a couple of people out there, a couple of ladies, and they introduced me to somebody else, and man, I was all Oakland out, bro.
All right, there you go, man.
He had it made.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
You just rode the coattails.
Oh, I didn't have a problem with it either. I'm okay.
Hey, man.
I can be a wingman or two if I have to be.
Hey, talk about your time with the Niners, though. I think you came off the 1,400-yard season.
Whoa, now. Whoa. You left one off there now, 15. Too hard to come by them hundreds.
I'm sorry.
that was 15 and some change.
Don't short him. Let him
right,
know,
15 and some change on that thing, huh?
Hey, 1,500, bro. You right. And I hate when people dip me like that because it's hard to get them yards, right?
It's hard to get 30.
Facts.
1,500 yards, bro. Like, you came on the scene, bro, and you really exploded, but you was drafted by Arizona. But just talk about what was that like coming into San Francisco, and then really the Bay Area just embrace you, bro.
Oh, man. Listen, that's when my career started. I got a chance to learn in Arizona and Cincinnati. San Francisco taught me how to play football, how to be a pro. Because you didn't worry about the small stuff anymore. You didn't go into the San Francisco locker room saying, okay, we got to win this year. Nope. We got to win the Super Bowl this year. That was the first thing you did. It's not we got to win. We got to win the Super Bowl or it don't count.
So it was the mentality was different.
Period. And then you got to think, I walked now trying to get autographs.
Facts.
I got Jerry Rice right here. I got Steve Young. Can I get y'all autograph, man? Hey, man, I know. I'm your teammate, but let me sign this for me. And you go out there and I consider myself a pretty good pro. I practice hard. But you see Jerry catch a 3-yard slant and run 90 yards full speed. I got a young Terrell Owens running behind him trying to catch him. I got J.J. Stokes running behind him trying to catch him. What I look like not running behind him?
Wow.
What I look like? Now I got to sit him, watch him do that? And then my fullback, William Floyd, doing the same thing. It's all about watching the best do their work and learning from them. I did the same thing. Now I'm running every play out, 100 yards or whatever we got. If it's a red zone, you got a shorter field. But you got all of them doing that. And Jerry started that. I thought I was doing something when I got there. I run 30 yards, full speed. Oh, come on back. No.
Finish every play.
Finish every play. And you don't do condition after practice because we didn't do condition. Yeah. That's when I learned what pro was like, man. That organization changed everything.
And y'all was so far ahead of time, even with practice schedules. I remember calling y'all during the season when I was in Cincinnati, and y'all was like, yeah, we just got off the field. And I'm like, man, I'm just leaving the facility. Oh, no pads? Y'all had pads? Like, we wear pads every day.
I know, Cincinnati.
Bro, so like, talk about, you already mentioned like the leaders of that team, what you came into, the culture was already established, but just the mindset of like from the coaching perspective of how they created the thought process of, man, if we gonna win a division and the next goals are the Super Bowl.
Well, when I got to San Fran, it was not, Steve Mariucci just got hired in 98 when I got there. 97, I'm sorry. So it's not like I had to learn from the culture that he was trying to establish. No, that came from Mr. DeBarlo. Mr. DeBarlo, Dwight Clark, and Carmen Policy. So we had just fired George Seifert, who was fresh off Super Bowl a couple years prior to that.
Yep.
But it didn't, and he came off 12-win season, still got fired because it wasn't good enough. So we bring in Steve Mariucci. Now you thinking he's going to set precedence on how he want things done. No. He went upstairs. They gave him the rundown. This is what the 49ers do. This is how we do it. This is how we think. And he read it verbatim, everything the 49ers way. Mr. Barlow tell you that. Dwight tell you that. And Common Policy. So I didn't have to learn this from the coaches because they knew it. Most of the coaches there were new. It's just part of the organization.
Right.
Period. We win. That's what we do. We win Super Bowls. We don't just win. We win Super Bowls. And that's when you know you had a good season.
Yeah.
So it was totally different from what I was used to. I was used to we gotta win at least 2 or 3 games for the season to be happy. Yeah. No, that's nothing. They didn't want to lose a preseason game.
Damn.
It was different.
And that obviously impacted you. You had one of your best years. I think your best year in the NFL. Takeo said 1,500 plus yards, rushing yards, and then you came down here to the A, first play of the game. Unfortunately, broke your ankle.
Broke my ankle, first play. I remember the players in '94, and we knew Atlanta Falcons. They were notorious for slanting their D-line back then. It was, Jesse Toe gonna scrape over and try to be there. They slanted, backside tackle cut off perfectly. I come through. I'm to the house. As a running back, you can feel certain things, and I could always feel when this to the house. Forget the safety's name. Played at Seattle, but he played for the Falcons that year. I get to him. Somebody grabs the ball. I'm spinning. If you see the video, he kind of stumbles, even though I break my ankle. Told me he wasn't making that tackle. So it's so crazy. I look at the pitch. I look at the video. I'm like, God, if this ankle don't stick in the turf, I'm to the house. First play of the game. We beat Atlanta. I don't care what they say. We didn't, but we would have. And it's one of them things like, I just got shoes from Lenox Mall that Saturday to wear in the game, because back then it was an old turf. So it was a pair of regular bottom shoes, tennis shoes. And that one shoe just did not want to come out the spin move. That's the only, I'd look back at it, just didn't come out the spin move. Spin move worked for me on a million occasions in every other game. And this one time, it stuck into the turf and my toe was facing backwards. So.
What was that journey like, bro? Like,
it's like 2 years out the game, right?
Mm-hmm. 2 years out the game. If it would have been just the broken ankle, probably came back the same year. And initially going into it, that's what I was assuming. Dang, I broke my ankle. 6 to 8 weeks, start rehab, get back. 6 to 8 weeks, you go back to do another MRI, x-rays, and I come back home. I fly back to Georgia, and I remember being at home at my mom's house, riding jet skis. I was riding jet skis on the lake, not thinking nothing about it. Ankles, I'm rehabbing, so it's fine. I'm not all the way. She called me and said, I need you to come home. I was already packing up anyway, so I go home. She said, you need to call your agent. I'm like, okay. Pat got some information, something going on. She said, no, just call him. And that's when he said, gee, got some news about your ankle. I said, what now? Well, I know my ankle's fine, it's healing. No, the doctors looked at the x-ray and MRIs, and there's a quarter-size spot on your talus bone that's dying. I'm like, what?
A bone dying?
The bone was dying. Only other person that ever had anything like this was Bo Jackson on his hip. So I'm like, so what's that mean? Well, they want you to come out and do some more tests. So the next day I flew back to California, and that's when I went through all the tests of what's going on and try to find out what's going on with the ankle. And that's when Dillingham, read everything out to me and showed me what's going on. We set up a plan then to how we could go and see if we can get it fixed. I think I went to 5, 6 doctors, and the one in New York, he told me, you're done playing football, you will never play again, find another career. Every other doctor semi-said that, except for 2, but we went with the first one in Baltimore, who had some kind of new thing he was doing with he's taking bone marrow from your body, but he's mixing it with this other stuff that allows it to grow, and He's able to put it into that area, and he's had some success. Didn't work. Went to the second doctor that said he could fix it in Seattle, Washington. Now, this doctor actually, I don't know if you guys ever heard this story about me, but when I came out of college, they had the nerve to say I had a bad ACL in my left leg, actually. So I ended up tearing my ACL my rookie year, true enough. But this doctor's the one, you go combine, you go through all the tests, and you go to about 5 to 10 stations.
Yeah.
Everybody's pulling on you. I get to the last station, and this doctor's pulling on me. He's like, okay, everything's fine. But this leg feels a little loose. Let's just get an MRI. I get an MRI, come home 3 days later. Garrison Hearst has a underdeveloped ACL in his left knee. It's the same doctor that fixed my ankle.
He owed you that.
And he apologized. He tried to apologize. And Garrison, I said, I don't care what you said. I'm here for you, a totally different situation now, so let's ride with it. Yeah. So that's my ankle injury, and the shit I had to go through to come back from it.
But you came back to 2001 most improved player. Is that correct?
No, that was comeback player of the year.
Comeback player.
That was my second time winning it.
Wow.
I won it twice because I had ACL my rookie year. So they came back the next year and played well, and they gave me I got comeback player of the year that year. Get to San Francisco and do it again. I said the award you never want to win.
But it had to feel good when you have all of the naysayers saying that it's over. That creeps in your mind, a doubt. My career, something I've been so great at, and my careers really feel like it's just taking off, and now the injury is putting me behind.
I know that was hard. For me, the hardest part is watching somebody else do your job. Yeah. You start hearing echoes already, but then you watching somebody, man, God, and he's playing well. Yeah. You can't go out there and say, well, I can do it too, because you're hurt. Yeah. But that's the hardest part for me, watching somebody else play running back at my team, and I couldn't do it, and I couldn't do anything about it. That was the hard part.
So your drive, what kept the faith? You know what I mean? Like, what kept you believing, like, I'm going to get through this, and not only get through it, but I'm going to come back and be even better?
It was more, in my mind, I broke my ankle. Man, I broke bones before. You come back from a broke bone. Yeah. Even though I know they're saying that the vascular necrosis is something major, I broke my ankle. Just keep working and heal. I'm of course, I come from a praying mama. I mean, from the South, grandmamas and mamas, I was getting all kind of prayer letters and wrapping handkerchiefs around my ankle. I'm
red clay, did they put the red clay and everything?
Red dirt growing up, baby. Come on now, we packed that thing around there with some turpentine. That's right.
For real though.
I didn't want to leave the game. Like I said, there's no freaking way this is gonna stop me from playing. If 49ers are gonna stick with me, I'm gonna keep training, keep working out to get back out there. And I was lucky enough, and it got real dicey that they signed me enough and reworked some stuff, and they didn't cut me. Yeah. And then going to that third season, that third year coming back from it, second year, but it was third season, I fought through some pain, but I got back out there and just give me the opportunity. That's all I wanted. And I wasn't who I used to be. I knew that. But I knew football too. Once you know football, things slow down. Y'all know that. Things slow down. So I started doing things a little different. I didn't have the top end I used to have. But my top end was really good before. Now it's just good. Yeah. So I'm still faster than a lot of running backs. Thanks. I'm not what I was, but I'm still good enough to do this. But in pro ball, you don't always have to hit the hole at 90 miles per hour. Sometimes you got to wait, pap, 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 and you don't break a lot of long runs. So you take what you get, and I learned to take what I get more. So I just learned to play the game a lot different, and it just slowed down and still was able. So I was still able to perform on a high level. Yeah.
What was the best memory that I got? One of my better memories of you, and it might be the same one if you mention it, but your best memory in that 49er gold out there, that garnet and gold, red and gold, whatever we call it.
Now if I know you're thinking that 90.
Yep.
I could say that, but it's not.
Yeah, that 90-yard touchdown.
It was 96 yards. There you go.
96.
There you go, short. Come on, Spike.
That's Auburn in him. That's that Auburn in him.
Oh, that's for that damn beat down. I'm trying to cut off some of them points y'all beat us by a couple of weeks ago.
That's in there now. It's in the books.
Man, tell us about the moment, man.
I would say 9-0, but I can't. I came back from my injury in 2001, and when you're coming back from injury, they're constantly trying to find things that you can't do anymore, or you can't do this. Well, I hadn't played a single game on a turf field. That's how I heard it. He broke his ankle on a turf field. I don't know how turf going to affect his ankle or how his running ability. And we go to the Colts, and I had 10 carries for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't think the turf affected me very much. So
Not at all.
That's when I said, all right, now I didn't have to hear it anymore. And I remember that because they made a big, and it was stupid to me. Why are you making a big deal out of freaking turf? When I'm time to play football, I'm putting all that, what I did behind me, I'm going. So let me shut them out. So that's how I look. That's my memory I have the most of.
Is it anything, how was it when you mentioned a young T.O. and him coming up? Like, literally, when you look at T.O. stats, bro, statistically, he is the second best wide receiver ever to play the game. Ever. Did you even have any thought, inclination that he would have turned into that player?
Yes and no, because I was there with Jerry, but T.O. was a second-year guy when I got there, and that was that young, raw T.O. that didn't care what it take. I'm doing it. Let's do it. Come on. I'm running all day. I'm hitting these weights. I'm country T.O. I'm laughing. I'm having fun. I'm sorry. Yeah, T.O. He was Terrell then, not T.O. yet. He hadn't made it T.O. yet.
Yeah.
But I saw it, but you know, a lot of times you see talent in guys, but certain things pull him away from it. He was a guy that certain parts of the year, he started, now he's young doing this. Okay, done drinking, done doing this, it's time for this. I don't care. It's football season. I'm not drinking a thing, G. That's it. He been that since day one. So he was already focused, but his focus also was he had Jerry Rice to learn from. You watching Jerry Rice every day. And I ain't just talking about out there on the field, how does he do this, how does he do that? He watching the locker room, he watching their interaction with the press, how people look at him, how people treat him, and why they treat him. And he came back to the point, if I can be as good as Jerry Rice, I can get some of the same accolades. Because T.O. didn't always get accolades the way he wanted them. And he'll tell you the story. He said coming up, people didn't look at him like he got put down. He went through all that. So, excuse me, a lot of that was, I'm going to show y'all. So I saw the making of T.O. I saw not just the games, I saw the practice of it. So I saw the whole build-up, And you start to see him, he started working out in a way, not just to be strong in football, but he also started, y'all might know the guy. What was the little short guy? Spikes, what's his name? Little short white dudes come out there with T.O. to work out, train him. So they concentrated on every little small muscle, not just, we not squats here. Yeah. I mean, so he had his mindset on how he wanted to do it and what he wanted to do in it. You can't take the numbers from him. Yeah. And I was in the locker room with T.O. And a lot of the stuff that you were hearing, I don't know where it was coming from. I don't know. I mean, I've heard things and I've seen him go through stuff, but I hadn't seen him do anything in the locker room that a lot of us didn't argue about stuff. Yeah. I could tell a story about some of the stuff between him and Jeff Garcia, but I think anybody would have got mad about it the way it went down on this story. You know,
do tell.
I will. It's funny. Terry Jackson and I were just talking about it. Well, you get in a team meeting and, the coach is going through stuff and then you're going to watch film. So you done been out a little later than you should have been. You hit that light. It's hard to keep them eyes open sometime in that meeting room. You know you're going to be that. So some guys will wear their hat down a little low on their eyes, hoping the coach don't see them.
Facts.
Well, we're in the big team meeting room. It might have just been offensive staff at the same time. So the lights go off. I'm over there in my corner, making sure I watch him. And I look over there. T.O., his problem was his seat was right in the aisle. You got this side aisle. His seat right on this side aisle, not in, right here. And you T.O. So you got the hat pulled down low. We know what you're doing. It's not a secret. And they're going through things and they hit the lights. everybody usually hit somebody.
Yeah.
Nobody hit him.
He's still
out
over there.
Jeff Garcia stood up and said, hey, we can't have this sleeping in the meeting anymore. Come on, guys, it's too serious. You got to get up right now and do this. And T.O. opened his eyes and looked right at him. It was no words said right then at all. But everybody like, oh, shit.
Here we go.
It's finna be something right here. And that was the only animosity I saw in the locker room. And they played that up so much, but it wasn't that bad after they had their words and
went on about their
business.
But he said that in front of the coaches or just the players?
That was everybody.
I see.
Now, I didn't say it was right.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. That's what they call a company man?
I never said it was right.
That's company
But that
man
was
right
the start of some mess right there. And now, if you'd have been in, you'd have been just like we were, sneakily laughing. He got him. He didn't get me. He didn't get me that time. But it never came to blows. It never got any family members talking about it. Just press got wind of it, and that was one of the things they talked about that week.
Man, so you were around some greats, obviously. Just mentioned T.O., Jerry. You were a great. Spikes was a great. UGA just whipped up on Auburn.
Yeah.
You in your prime, Spikes in your prime, in his prime. 1-on-1 in the hole. Who gets the best, Garrison Hearst or Takeo Spikes?
I can't answer that. I'm going to tell you why first. I didn't have to worry about having to see him in the hole. I had a big, wide-shouldered, big-neck dude by the name of Fred Beasley that was in front of me. And I'm so glad I've said that name because he know what I'm about to say. I'm hurt in 99. Yeah, I know it. Cincinnati, San Francisco play. I go to the game. I travel with the team. Fred Beasley starting fullback.
Yeah.
Spikes starting linebacker for Cincinnati. You know this. All I'm going to say is we had meetings on Monday, and the running back coach pissed.
Why is that?
Fred Beasley and Takeo Spikes are friends. They played together at Auburn.
Yeah.
They hugged and kissed the whole game.
They brother-in-law. They brother-in-law.
Hey, they hugged and kissed.
You was sleeping in the B room.
Hey, I saw that. Tom Rathman was hot with Fred. Fred couldn't say anything. They hugged and kissed on every lead play. Hey, listen, we got Fox. He know
No.
Fox 2 run. We got Fox 2 run. He know that's a lead draw.
Yeah.
Fox 3 run, and you got offset runs, same thing. Mm-hmm. It is no question where the ball going and who's got who. Fred slides over like he slide over real. Run up in there with Spike.
No.
Hey, Spike. We watch film. I'm like, Fred, shit. Spike coming down here, dog.
Shit.
Hey, he coming out trying to make fullback shorter.
Right.
I'm like, this shit, I'm gonna watch this shit. If I want to see these first few Fox 2, because the first few gonna be hell.
Yeah.
Fred ain't gonna win, I don't expect Spikes to win. Shit. And somebody else made the tackle.
So
check this out. This is what happened. What had happened was on Fox 2 and 3, I took pride in like, man, you send a fullback after me, I'm going to destroy you. Mm-hmm. But with them, West Coast system, if you do anything outside the tackle box, they cutting. And the running back ain't even coming over it. Like, he start that way, but he's cutting it back.
Yeah.
So I was like, don't agree with him. I was like, bruh. I was like, hey, man, you come after my knees, bro. Like, I ain't on that, dog. Like, for real. Like, don't come after my knees, bro. So it was more so like we kind of hit up. He knew I wasn't gonna make this. Man, the back was cutting inside, man. Listen, Spikes is wrong, and he know he wrong. He trying to make. I'm telling you, he know he wrong. Fox 2 run.
No lies in the lounge.
It's in the hole.
No lies in the lounge.
Fox 2 run is between center guard.
Yeah. Right?
I did my responsibility. You did.
But it was a brother-in-law. You know responsibility.
I don't know about that brother-in-law.
Hey,
right guard center, go to the backside, linebacker, Spikes
was destroying. I mean, he was destroying fullbacks.
Right.
We watched it on film. He know we watch film like they do. He know what he was doing to fullbacks. He just told you. Man. Of all of a sudden, now, I'm going to hit you, Fred, but, I ain't really going to hit you because you ain't going to hit me.
No, maybe you did not giving Fred enough credit. Fred was one of the better fullbacks.
That's why I know y'all brother-in-law. I know, because he wasn't going hard either. Why? Tom was mad at Fred.
All that talk.
Listen, I didn't get no minus on the play. I turned the ball back where it was.
Yeah, because y'all was brother-in-law and making it look good. That's what you do.
Fred ain't gonna go hard. He didn't go hard one play on Spike.
Yes, he did.
Not one.
We don't have to pull out the tape.
Call Fox 3 though.
Right.
Tried to decleat the dude every time.
He punished people.
Every time. Them joking kids the whole
I'm
head.
disappointed,
And after the
man.
game, they taking pictures. Hey, folks, come on, man.
Damn Eagle.
I still got the picture of all the photos we took after the
we
game.
taking pictures after the game. I'm saying to myself, I can't wait to see film on Monday.
You was in my top 5 before this interview.
You was a bad dog. That's all I'm saying. And I gave you the dog moniker on that, baby.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, man.
Hey, man, talk about your support system, man. Wifey, your kids, 4 kids, Gannon, Gerard, Brooke, and Gavin.
Yes, my babies.
Yep. Like, I've seen you just, like, your mental capacity when it comes to them is totally different. When we're out, even when we were training the kids in high school for high school track, AAU track, like, what drives you, man, when it comes to your babies, bro?
Oh, man, shoot. I was lucky enough to have a real good family system when I grew up, my mom and dad. So I didn't want anything less for mine. Gerard, Gannon, mom passed away. So I didn't want them to get anything or miss anything because they weren't in the house with me every day. So I did everything I could to be around them at all times. If it was Gerard's got a solo or something with the piano, he was taking piano, I'm gonna be there. Yeah. I didn't care because I didn't want them to understand. I want him to know you guys aren't with me all the time, but I'm here all the time. Mm-hmm. And because I had my dad drove a truck and he was in the military at the same time, so he was gone. But when it was kickoff, he was there. Yeah. When it was base pitch, I said, man, I thought he was on the road. He said, I'm gonna find a way to be there. So I wanted the same thing for them. It's so much going on now with kids anyway, man. You worry about them getting information or learning something from their peers or, I hate to say it, we try to provide a better life for our kids than we had. So by doing that, you bring them around people that weren't necessarily raised the way you were raised. Yeah. So they let things go, or they let kids get away with stuff that don't fly with me. My kids know me. Hey, it's no gray area. It's gonna be black or white. There's no gray area. So they generally won't come to me when they want something that they know they shouldn't be asking for. Is daddy gonna say? Don't ask him. Go ask mom. There. Cause don't come to me with no crazy stuff. But I just wanted them to understand that, for the boys, that as a man, you got to take care of everything you can. You got to make sure you're the leader of your family. Meaning, it's not about the vocal things. It's about what they see you do. So having 3 boys, I had to be on top of that because 3 of them. And I always tell my oldest, I said, I know you're gonna want to try me one day. I know it. I said, just don't let me be your first fight. I said, you better work your way up to me. I said, because I'm going to do something to you real bad to let you understand, because I'm old. I ain't got about 2-3 seconds in this fight, but it's going to be a hard-ass 2-3 seconds you're going to get, son. So, but I say that to let them know that, I hope I can say this, but it's in a time where they, in my opinion, and I'm going to say this my opinion, there's no opinion of the show or you guys, they making men less of men. So I want my boys to be men. Yeah. I want them to understand that because I came from some men. The stuff they had to go through and survive. My dad marched. So I took when Lives Matter was going strong, I took my family to do that. Yeah. I wanted them to be a part of all that. So I say all this to say I've always wanted to be in their life, not just physical, but also in their heads. Yeah. And I also believe in having a real strong structure around them with extended family. And he know that already because my daughter stayed at his house all the time, constantly. But I feel comfortable. And with a daughter, I'm constantly worried about it. I don't have to worry about that when they go there because I know what she getting. I know how he was raised.
Facts.
I know who you don't put that fish in that boy.
Facts. Mama
So
P.
it made me feel comfortable. She'll tell you there's not many houses she's spent the night at. There's not many times she's going out of town with someone other than her family, blood, but still family. Yeah. So, I go to talk about my kids. I go to want to dang cry. Shit.
That's all good, bro.
Man, they and my youngest one is Gavin, and
he's the superhero out of the family.
He's the superhero of the family, man. That's
autistic,
he's
right?
He's autistic. He's on the spectrum. When I tell you that dude right there, man, it's and I had relatives that had kids that are autistic, and you see them, you learn to interact, but you don't know until you get them in the house in the small stuff. My wife knew it from day one. I don't know how. And she would say, he won't look me in my eyes. I'm like, what do you mean? I said, he's only 4 months old. What are you talking? He just won't give me an eye contact. She kept saying that. I think something's wrong. And in my mind, I'm like, nah, it's fine. Just like all my other kids. We strong. We're going to be all right. But she was right. After testing and going through everything, on the spectrum. I have no idea how she knew. But when I tell you he's the most brilliant kid in the world, speaks Japanese, I don't know how he learned. Can speak Spanish, don't know how he learned that either. Play the drum. It's not a video game or a game he can't learn. He's already coding. He's only 11. He didn't learn this in school. He gets on his iPad and go to YouTube or go to things, he finds it and does it himself. I don't know how he learned it. We were passing by a Walmart off of Pleasant Hill, I think, and it's got a bunch of Asian writing on different buildings. And he said, he said, I want a sandwich too from the sandwich shop. And I started looking around, sandwich shop. See the sandwich shop around? And Brooke looked around, we all in there. And she looked, what does he say? I don't know. And she took a picture of something, of the building, and started looking. She said, Dad, that building, that sign says sandwich shop in Japanese. I said, I looked it up, Gavin read that. I said, how did?
Wow.
So that dude right there, man, that's my dog. And Jen, my wife, I don't know if I should say it. I'm gonna say it, baby, don't be mad. Okay. She came up with a name for him, Gavinator. And when I tell you it fits, and being autistic, you tend to try to give kids leeway on certain things they do around the house, like you be a little hard on your other kid. Don't do that with him, because he's smart enough to know he can get away with it. So I treat Gavin just like I treat my other kids. No different. Hey, look at me in my eyes. You want some of this? No, sir, I don't. Go to your mom and, Mommy, can I have this? Daddy said I could. So he is a brilliant kid, man. He's my heart, all of my heart, but that dude, he's gonna be with me for life probably, so I get a sore spot for that little cat right there. Yeah.
The Gavinator.
The Gavinator.
Shout out to the Gavinator.
All right, man. So I gotta ask you this, bro. Like, who in today's game, before I let you go, reminds you of a G Hearst?
Ah, man. Today's game is so different now, for running backs for sure. Running backs position is not as valued as it used to be by any means.
Or even some of the guys who you just, you got appreciation for their game, because
no
I
doubt.
know, I know it's running back by committee.
Oh, no
now.
doubt. It's a few of them I like. I can't say some that I like because they don't remind me because they're different type runners.
Yeah.
So when I look back at my game, and I say this, and I can say this to y'all, I feel like I could have played in any era. It's up to somebody else to argue that, but I feel like I could have. I wasn't 250, but I feel like I could go in between the tackles when I had to. I could get outside. I could catch the ball. So when I look at running backs like that now, of course I look at the cat from Minnesota. Cook. Yeah.
Yep.
He's a bad dude.
Yep.
He got
Dalvin
wheels
Cook.
and he's tough. That's my one. Because he's a Bulldog, I got to say it, even though he's a big dude. That's Nick Chubb, but we're different runners. But I got to put him in there because he's my dog.
UGA.
Hey, I got him a dog. I'm gonna do something. Yeah, all right. Anyway, James Cook's, Dalvin Cook's brother, James Cook, I think
James
gonna
Cook,
be a good
yep.
one too. He can come out the backfield and play some slot if he had to. I don't know if I was in that area right there, but he could do it. Number 20 for the Dallas Cowboys now. And I hate to say anything about the Cowboys, but I'm going to say it.
Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard, he looked real good. He can do a lot of things in space, out of space, and he runs hard. 49ers has some good ones, too. I mean, Mostert is with Miami now, but he was a good one. 22, I'm not sure of his name with the Niners right now. But
Elijah.
He had a touchdown the other day. So
Jeff Wilson, I
Wilson,
think.
he looked good. I like
Jeff
his style,
Wilson.
too. I like backs
all downhill runners.
I like some downhill runners. That if you have to get in space, you can cut up field, make a few moves. I never had that. I'm going to cut you so many different ways, right? That wasn't me. I don't claim to be that guy, but you're not going to just tackle me either. So I like backs like that because that's what it reminds me of what I used to do.
Yeah, I could see that. You brought something up. Nick Chubb. Like, Georgia is really the new running back university, right?
Yes. Go ahead and say it loud. Look at the camera when you say it.
Nick Chubb. Gurley. Sony Michel. DeAndre Swift.
That's right. Oh, that's another one.
This
thing I left him out.
Yeah.
That's my dog.
Yeah. D Swift. I like it. He's on my fantasy team.
Oh, yeah,
so
he should be.
He's definitely legit.
That's a bad dude.
You look at even pre-era before them, Robert Edwards.
Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis, which, by the way, he was your backup, right? Rodney Hampton.
Tim Worley. Lawrence Tate. Just passed, but Lawrence Tate.
Yep.
Rest in peace. I can go back with some names you probably won't know, but as a Georgia people would know him. You got Willie McClendon. He was my running back coach, but he went for 15 and went probably in the Bears behind Walter Payton.
All right. So with all of those names you just said, I give it to you. Running back university. Yeah. Where does Garrison Hearst rank amongst all of those?
You don't go put me right there.
The Dog Nation want to hear. Only time
Oh, man. You know what? Because it's a dog, we talking about all dogs running backs?
Yeah.
Man, we're in a pack.
Man, you ain't no wolf, only wolf running back.
Yeah, we ran pack Saturday.
Okay, that's the end of the show, guys.
Shots fired. There, G. Got him.
Man, I couldn't call it, dog. I couldn't call it. I don't want to put. I'm not putting me on the bottom. I'm not putting me in the top. We in a pack. I'm just gonna call it. We all dog backs. RBU, baby. And you got other schools gonna probably throw their names out there. Fine. Show who we got. Ride with it.
Respect.
Shit, man, we definitely glad you finally came behind the mask, you know what I'm saying? Shared a little bit of your time with us and obviously the BTM audience, bro. So much love for everything you've done in your career, everything you continue to do, raising these beautiful kids, beautiful family and everything, man. You're a blessing to us, big bro. It's always love, man.
I appreciate it, fellas. I appreciate you.
Always love, bro.
My man.
Behind the mask.